Hello everyone. It's been a really long time since I have done a video or put anything on my Etsy shop. Um, I got a lot done over the summer, but then school started up again in the fall and everything just kind of ground to a halt. So I have 4 new journals to list and to flip through. 2 are little golden book journals, and those will be in a separate video. And these 2 traveler's notebook style. This one is winter and this one is Christmas. It doesn't have a name on it because I thought whoever gets it would like to probably put their own name in there. But this one I named winter. And they're both the same height. They're both a traveler's notebook height, which is about 21 centimeters. And they're both traveler's notebook size, but this one's a little bit bigger at about just over 4.5, and this one is just about 4.25. But they do fit into a traveler's notebook. So here's one of my traveler's notebooks, and you can see it will fit in. There'll be fluff and stuff sticking out, but then this one would fit in very easily as well. So they can be used within a traveler's notebook, or they can be used on their own. So let's do the Christmas first, and I will do a flip through. It's from the Blue Fern Studio Vintage Christmas Paper Pack. And I have reinforced the spine with some woven linen, and it has a 3 hole pamphlet stitch. And then the closure is just very loosely looped through here, so you can use this closure or not. And there's the back. And the title is a book plate and some burlap. So here it's just one signature. I've included a flat pen altered paper clip, and there's a pocket in the front and the back, both with tags. This pocket has an altered ticket that has tea-dyed paper on the back, and it has a tuck spot. Ooh, I'll have to stick something in that tuck spot. I forgot to put something in there. And it has a little tag on the front. And this was inspired by Renewed and Crafted for You, I think is what she calls herself. But I've been enjoying her videos. And this is a cardstock end with a tuck spot with a guest check and a cut apart from the paper pack. This is the December piece of paper from Edith Holden, and some tea-dyed paper. This is a vintage recipe from a magazine. This is a little tuck from the paper pack. I love that Santa driving the little car, with a journaling card in that tuck. And there's a map and some vintage ledger. This is real vintage ledger that comes from a book of vintage ledgers. So it's real. It's not a printout. There's some storybook page. This is from a Talmy de Paula book. Here is a altered envelope with some cards tucked in the side, and a journaling card in the envelope pocket as well with some lace on it. More tea-dyed papers. And this is some Christmas music and some tea-dyed paper, and another tuck with some journaling cards. And this is from a children's book. It says Santa Claus and the Singing Bird. This is tea-dyed, but it picked up some other dyes that when I do tea-dyed paper, I put it on parchment, and the parchment has picked up some dyes from other dyes I've done, and this picked it up, and I just really like the way that came out. That's the other part of the Edith Holden from December. There's mistletoe and some Christmas music and Christmas stories from around the world. Sorry, that was the center. And there are some little tiny bells, Christmas bells on the center ties there. And these are just the other sides. I love that image of the English great tits. And here's another tuck with some skiers. This is, I think, a Tim Holtz ephemera piece of paper. So there's lots of journaling space. March of the Kings, the rest of that music page. And there's more tied paper. The other side of that envelope with more cards tucked in there and another card in the envelope. And the other sides of those papers that you saw at the front, another fussy cut Santa with journaling cards. The other side of December. And the back side of the cover with a pink guest check and another cut apart. And then in the back pocket is a large journaling tag with a guest check. So that is the Christmas TN size journal. And that just ties up like this with a little twine. Okay, and now for winter. This one's a little chunkier. I did a bunch of Christmas ones and I kind of got tired of Christmas, so I needed to do something that was a little more nature themed to kind of cleanse. So this has a ribbon with little, there's an acorn and a pine cone on the ends of this ribbon. And this ribbon wraps around and is attached with a big eyelet. This is from a different paper pack. This paper pack is this one. I've heard this company called different things. I've heard it called Stamperia, but it seems like it should be Stamperia if it's Italian. I don't know. But it's called Winter Botanic, and it's really, really quite lovely. I enjoyed that paper a lot. So this is a book plate that says, I have winter stamped on there. It's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch with some deer on the cover. And I have put kind of wintry colored trims on the edges, and which was really fun to do. I don't often do that, but I enjoyed that. And there are all kinds of sticky uppy tabby things at the top. Okay, so in this front tuck is a little booklet that has some winter birds. These are Mrs. Cog's winter birds with some tea-dyed on the back. And just some tea-dyed grid paper in there for journaling. And, oops, and it does slide right into that tuck. And the ribbons stick out. So I love this. I just enjoyed this paper pack so much. Really lovely. So here's the flat pen for this book. And this is from it's a book page from Marjolaine Baston that I used. Some of the book pages from that book. And I reinforced it with some card on the back. And this is just a large cardinal tag for journaling. And there's actually grid paper, tea-dyed grid paper on the back of there as well. This is some eco-dyed paper. That's from Jessica Rapp, which I love. Thank you, Jessica. And some tea-dye paper. And this is a holly from oh gosh, this is from a nature book, but I forget which one it is. And this is sycamore on the back side of that one. Sycamore is a deciduous tree, And so it loses its leaves in the winter, but it also sheds its bark each year, which is very fun. I have one in my yard. And this is a tea-dyed paper with some ribbon and some eyelash ribbon on the side. Here's that robin again. I love the robin and the mistletoe. And this is a belly band tuck spot with a cut apart card from the book. This is a ribbon that had some wire in it. I took the wire out, and at the same time I used the ribbon to make a little tab at the top. This is from a National Geographic, or not, from an Audubon encyclopedia about frost. And there's a tea-dye paper with some different laces on the edge, different trims I should say. But this one has, I don't know if you can see it, it's got some frosty looking glittery edges to it. And this one has a tab at the top. And here we have cardinal paper with some silver trim, and that opens to a winter bird journaling tag in that tuck. And here's the Edith Holden January page. And again, this has some sparkly, glittery frostiness to it. More eco-dye paper. And this one has a silver tab at the top. This is from that Audubon encyclopedia about evergreen trees. And this one has a tab and some glitter. I don't know how that worked out. And so this is a journaling card with some little birds that you would feed. And this little girl is a Mrs. Coggs image, and she's feeding the birds. And this is the center from Edith Holden with little birds being fed at a feeder. And then in the center, I've put on some beaded charms. This is a reindeer and a snowflake with some pretty wintry beads on them. And this one has some eyelash trim and other trims, other backside of the evergreen. This has a glittery tab. And this is more of Jessica Rapp's eco-dyed paper. This is actual eco-dye. This is not a printout. And some really nice glittery trim there with, this is just Michael's trim, but I really like the color. And there's some glittery pinecone trim ribbon. And the other part of that Edith Holden page opens up to a tuck with some more winter birds. On the cardinal page, and here's a layered tab and more trim. And here's another belly band. This has a cardinal ribbon on it with a cut apart journaling card on the back of that snowflake paper. And some tea-dye paper with some glittery trim. And some more of that nature trees page, more tea-dyed paper, eco paper, and another Marjorie Bastion fussy cut winter bird with a large journaling tag and grid paper on the back. And that slides right in there. And in the very back cover, there is a pocket with a tall tag, very tall tag. And then you open up this, and there is a Winter Birds nuthatch tag with some journaling spaces on the back. And then it also has some writing paper. And that just slides right in there. And there is lace on the back edge and on the front edge. So that is the TN for winter. Let's see, I wrapped it like this around and then tied it in a bow. And I like this ribbon because the whatever's making it glittery it doesn't shed. A lot of glittery ribbon, when you use it, sheds all its glitter, but this doesn't. Don't know why. But that's that. So those are my 2 TNs. I'll put these up on Etsy. See, today is Thursday, October 25th. I'll get them into my Etsy shop, which will be linked below, along with Mrs. Coggs and Jessica Rapp of 2 Silver Oranges. I want to say by tomorrow night, but really, honestly, it's most likely by Saturday morning. So, oops, and there's your flat pen. I'll put that back in too. So thank you for watching. Hope all is well. Have a good day. Bye-bye.